Yes, yes, yes. Come on in, tell a friend, all black everything. We are back with the series, the new series we've been lied to. Slash, did you know? Like you said, subscribe. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Big dreams, many streams. We back with when the world was black. We back with when the world was black. We back. We back with when the world was black. Interesting facts. Do your own research. We just share this information. And we continue with right where we left off. And he says, wait, I've got just one more quote. And this one is heavy. The following is excerpt from Bertrand Wheel's 1910 work, The Conflict of Color, the threatened upheaval throughout the world, covers so much of what we seek to address in this book. He says, the black man has nothing to do with the world. He has never made a nation. He belongs to nothing but a subject race. He has no animism, be a religion. His hands have reared no enduring monuments, save when they have been forcibly directed by the energies of other races. The black man, the Negro, is indeed the world's common slave. Fate thus seems to have marked the African down. No matter how much one may animadvert, criticize against the Asiatic, no matter how much one may dislike him, it is a fact that though he may never have been scientific, he has contributed immensely to civilization of the world. He has founded every great religion that exists, has built enduring monuments and temples, and possesses withal, in many ways, a more reasonable, a more subtle, and a more speculative brain than the European. In poetry and art, the debt Europe owes Asia is immense, far greater than the conflict, than is commonly supposed. For no one knows, nor will ever know, how much the Greeks really borrowed from the Indo-Persian civilization and how little they themselves originated. Hebrew, Chinese, Japanese, Arab, Hindu, Persian, and many others have contributed to their ordered quota in the sum total. All have had and will continue to have a profound influence on the world's progress. Not so the black man. He is the child of nature, the one untutored man who has a helot in the days of Solomon, as he is still a virtuous slave, though his manumission throughout the world is one of the great landmarks in the history of the 19th century. Now, reading this text like this turns to the stomach of those of us who know better. It makes you want to scream, cry, lash out in defiance, and perhaps after you have done enough, if you after you had enough, you just tell yourself, well, it's not true, and their ignorance can't hurt me. This is truthfully the coward's response. Teaching us, teaching us that we're stupid, teaching us, that's the headline, excuse me. It's like knowing your child's kindergarten teacher is telling them that they're stupid on a daily basis, and you, instead of doing something about it, just tell yourself, well, it's not true, and their ignorance can't hurt me, baby. But it can. Children learn in schools, not necessarily in this language, of course, because it's not 1910 anymore, and no one would word it this way. But the same ideas are being fed to our children. Must educate our own. We must educate our own. They ain't gonna do it properly. They can't do it properly. They ain't gonna allow you to educate their children. We must reciprocate. It only makes sense. Teach them what we want and need them to know. Black first, and then everything else. That's the way you got to do that. Even at black colleges and universities, many professors are so entrenched in the old school that they don't know how much of the world was authored by black people, or they're simply too scared, even at HBCUs, to really think about it. And this history matters because there's a reason why they lied. These fools weren't ignorant, they just lied. And there's still a reason why they still lie. Yeah, this wasn't done accidentally. This is no coincidence why things are the way they are. This is blatant lies on top of lie, on top of lie, on top of lie. You can't tell the truth not one time because it unravels all the other previous lies. I ain't make it this way, just learning that's how it is. Sharing the message. You take it as a grain of salt, or you can, do what you do with it. Do your own research though. You'll figure it out. Green is the new white. Think about it. This right now, much of the developed world is going green. Environmentalism is big news, and big news means big business. But who's cashing in? The same Europeans who trashed the planet. They mess the shit up, and then they come through like the heroes and the saviors, and you know, it's my fucking game. They continue to play with us. We got to nip that shit in the bud. No more. We had enough. You can't pull the wool over the eyes. No more. No more. Did you know that the same companies who produce the garbage that destroys our planet are the same ones manufacturing the green products that are supposed to save it? Hmm. Hmm. And as people pursue this radical change, they are consulting with the original environmentalists. The indigenous people. No, excuse me. Are they consulting with the original environmentalists? The indigenous people who preserved the planet for hundreds and thousands of years using sustainable technology long before anyone white cared what sustainable even meant. Of course not. They said that we were savages because we lived in mud huts, even though a brick house is essentially a mud hut too. Brick, fire, dry, mud. But now white people are spending thousands of dollars to build eco domes using the same construction techniques. Now that they realize they're superior to many modern dwellings. Meanwhile, many of the original mud hut architects weren't simply written off as savages, they've been pushed to the brink of extinction. The oldest people on the planet are all nearly gone. Think about why. Think about what compels an environmental organization like the World Wildlife Fund to purposely push for population control and the imminent death of indigenous people in the regions where they work so hard to save small animals. Don't believe me? Check out the investigation of the evidence in the Hood Health Handbook, Volume 2. It's all right there in their own words. See, you really get them when you stick it to them with their own words, you know what I'm saying? And there's no dispute, evidence and facts. You don't got that? You ain't got jack. Better listen, learn something. Trust me, my desire is to tell you the true story of original people is not about romanticism or reminiscing. It's about radical change, a reversal of the prevailing social order. Flip that shit around. It's time. I'm starving to undo what they're doing daily. By the time you're done with this value, you'll see just why ancient history is not old news, and just how important it is that these stories continue to be told. Until then, we'll always be seen as savages, and animals bound for extinction. Yep, it's time to tell our story. We've been bombarded with the lies in history. Now it's time to tell our story. Yes, indeed, all black everything. Thinkers Plight, big things, many streams. All black everything. Thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. Like you share, subscribe it. Hit the bell too. Know when we going live. We in there. Peace and love, y'all. Let's get it. It's a cold game they play.